But as we usually come sometimes at this time of year, and as we get older in life, there are times where we think about, and I have thought about this in the past, we think about legacy. Have you ever thought about legacy? What are you going to leave behind when God takes you home? How will people remember you? Oh, that pastor, he was a crotchety old guy who told me to get off his lawn. We had a neighbor like that growing up across the street. You know, our ball would go into his yard and we'd try to go get it. He'd say, "Get off my gravel. That's not your ball, that's my ball now." Will you be remembered for the good that you have done or tried to do? The values you have instilled in your children and grandchildren, great-grandchildren. Presidents usually think about these things during their second term of office. How will they be remembered? How will history portray them? And being able tonight, as we look at legacy, to have praiseworthy works. In the book of Proverbs, in Proverbs chapter 31, in the last two verses of the chapter there, we think about the legacy that the virtuous woman who is described here in verses 10 through the end of the chapter, verse 31, left behind for her family. And the things that she would be remembered for. As you read there from verse 10 down through the end of that chapter, there are many things, good things, praiseworthy things that she is remembered for. And to sum it all up, there in verse 30 of Proverbs 31, the Bible tells us there, favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. Let us be people that let what we do speak for us. What we've done for the Lord, let that speak for us, because it will speak. Even after we're gone, our influence lives on. I have the influence of my parents, my wife's parents. Graduated to heaven. But their influence lives on. Your influence will live on. Again, how will that influence be remembered? Born into a wealthy family, Henry Parsons Crowell determined at a young age that he would use his resources to further the work of God. According to his biography, The Serial Tycoon, Crowell prayed, "God, if you will let me make money, I will use it in your service." In addition to founding the Quaker Oats Company, you may have heard of them, He had a number of other successful businesses. He was a great personal friend and supporter of evangelist D.L. Moody and helped finance the work of the great evangelist. During the latter part of his life, Crowell regularly gave 70% of his income to his church and other Christian works. A part of his vision to extend his giving beyond his lifetime, Crowell founded a trust to support evangelistic efforts around the world. The founding document he wrote stipulates that when a vacancy occurs on the board, the remaining members shall elect a person who is an avowed disciple of Jesus Christ, as witnessed by profession and character. Don't have many companies doing that nowadays. Though this successful businessman has been dead for decades, he continues to have an impact for the kingdom of God. Will we still have an impact for the kingdom of God when we leave this life? And what will that impact be? Because whether we are aware of it or not, all of us are building legacies that we will leave behind. The work that we do for God establishes that testimony by which we will be remembered. The possessions we accumulate and the earthly honors that we receive, they will all soon vanish away. Money has a strange way of flying away, doesn't it? Every time you open your mailbox and a bill comes, there goes some more. I am, of course, a distribution center. I take my money, I put it in the bank, and then the bills come, and I say, there you go. And fortunately, I may have a little bit to do a little something with on the back end. The investments, though, that we make in God's work will last for eternity. And Mr. Crowell here, he's not the only one who has ever done this. If you've ever read the story of a man by the name of J.C. Penney, you may remember him. He had a few stores here and there. He may still have one in Pittsburgh, I think. I don't know. Everybody's going online nowadays, so it's hard to tell who's who and what's what. But it is said that at the end of his life, he lived off of 10% of what he made and gave the rest to his church and to the work of the Lord. What shall we do? We may not have the millions or the billions that these men have, but what we do have, how will we use it? And how will it be remembered? Is something to think about. The investments we make in God's work will last throughout eternity. If you want to look back on the coming year with joy rather than regret, not only 2023, but the Lord tarries, we come to the end of 2024. Make sure to take full advantage of every opportunity to serve God and serve others. If you do, then that work will be praiseworthy. and you will leave a lasting impression upon people as they remember you in this life and in the life to come. I thank you so much. I appreciate so much your faithfulness, your being here,